Hi Leos, this is Tarot-blee Accurate. Thank you for tuning in. This is your general reading for July 23rd through August 23rd, and this is Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising signs. First of all, if this is your first time here, thanks for showing up. I hope you come back, and if you've come back, if you've seen my videos before, you liked them, you shared them, you subscribed to them, thank you so much for doing that. That's the reason why I do these. I appreciate all of your support. One other quick thing is that, I apologize. So two other quick things. I apologize for taking longer to get these videos out. My mom was ill, had to take her to the hospital, pick her up, all that stuff. She's fine now, don't fret. But it did just hijack my days and I didn't get these done as quickly as I wanted. Life happens sometimes. Now, the other thing is that I noticed, sorry I keep scratching my nose. I feel like I might sneeze, so if I make weird faces, that's why. The other thing I noticed is that every single month, the sign that has the most views, it has way more views than the other signs, and it's always a different sign. And the correlation that I've made is that it's the sign that is having the toughest time that needs the most guidance. So I had previously just kind of randomly put up the videos in whatever order, but this month and from here ever forward, what I did is I'm going to do them in the order of which ones have the most views, because clearly the ones that are far above the rest are the people who need the guidance the most right now, and therefore they should get those more immediate, if that makes sense. So as soon as I release videos, usually there's people saying, oh, when's Leo coming? Is it next? Can you do this one next? And I would love to do that, but I think this is the way I'm going to do it from now on. So if you're wondering when yours is coming, when you start seeing them pop up, that's how you'll know, okay? So, fantastic. We'll just get started. What we're doing is career and finances, home life and friendships, singles love, and couples love. So, here we go. What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs in regards to career and finances for July 23rd through August 23rd? This one wanted to come out for sure. Oh, did you see that? Little orb just shoot right up. Okay, this one was adamant on coming out, and that orb there was like, hey guys, this is really important. So really hone in on this part of the message is that everything in regards to career and finances might feel a little bit challenging, okay? But you're doing something that makes you happy, and the possibilities are infinite, okay? You see that's right here on the top of her head. You have infinite possibilities, okay? But you have to remain strong and persistent. It's like, don't give up on things, even though they seem challenging. It's about having tact and control and thinking things through. You can't just like walk up to a lion and put your hands all over its face and treat it like a fuzzy kitten. It's a full-grown lion, and that's your challenges. But you're strong and you are smart and you have tact and you figured out how to calm that beast and work with it. Okay, so this is about taking your challenges, the things that seem hard in regards to your finances and your work life, your career, your business if you have one, and taking those challenges and sort of turning them into blessings. The obvious is that you learn from every mistake that you make, right? Every challenge provides a lesson. But then also sometimes things that seem icky initially can work to your advantage, right? Something that seems like a problem, you can turn into a blessing. And I guess that would be different depending on what kind of field you work in, what career it is. But let's say you're a chef. Okay, and you run out of an ingredient that you need, and so you change a recipe, and then people really love it. Like initially you're like, fuck, we don't have any tomatoes, and you do something completely different, and then you're like, people are pinning on Pinterest, like how amazing this food is, and how do we emulate this recipe, and then before you know it, you are franchising out your restaurants. Not necessarily like that, but that's the point, is like, you can take your challenges and turn them into blessings, okay? So just remember that. Be strong. You are a lion. Like, that's such a Leo card, right? What else in regards to career and money? Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of signs have had this. There must be something going on with the planets where this girl, she's tied up. She feels stuck, okay? She feels stuck in a situation. She feels tied to something. And in reality, these ties around her, they're coming down around her hips. So as they come down from up here to around her hips, it's very easy just to go like this. Take your arms out, take your blindfold off your face. And then see all of these things for what they are, have clear thought. But this is maybe saying you're refusing to really see things as they are. There might be things that you're hiding from yourself, things you just don't want to deal with or think about. You put them on the back burner. And it's because like you don't know how you feel about them or how you will feel about them. You know, her foot is sort of in muddy water and water is feeling. So that might be where you're at right now. You might feel stuck in a job. You don't know how you feel about leaving. You might be starting a new one. You're not really sure if that's what you want. Could be anything like that. But just make sure that you know at any point in time, you could feel better about this. You're not tied to anything unless you want to be tied to it. And you can just take that blindfold off. Like, you don't have to be committed to the things that you're committed to in your work and finance life, like, unless you want to be. This is, for some of you, this is talking about moving. It could be moving home, and that's very expensive. Looking for a new place, saving money for a down payment, something like that. But for some of you, this is changing jobs. I feel like for more of you, though, it's about trying to find a new home, moving your home, or maybe your work, you're changing locations. You might be maybe not changing jobs, but it's like you're maybe the business you work for has 2 offices and you're moving to the other one or something like that. But what this is saying is this is actually a really good thing for you because it's taking you from a place where things, they were comfortable, you were used to them. Maybe for some of you, they were uncomfortable and there was like a lot of drama and emotion there, but you're going to a place of, choppy water to calmer water. So this is a very good thing. It's, even the trees are blue, right? So that means like your emotions too are grounded because trees are all about like stability and groundedness. Like everything is just going to be stable and calm once you do this. So good for you. Now in regards to, holy schmoly. Can I just say this, guys? Jumping out here saying try really hard to save money though. And I think that is going hand in hand with the moving just because there's always unexpected expenses and things like that. The other ones that jumped out here with that are the Knight of Swords. Maybe one thing that was inhibiting you from doing this before was an inability to tell other people about your plans. You didn't know how they were going to take them, what they were going to think. This is like just saying, okay, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm letting people know it's fine. This is what's right for me. And as a result of that, you just end up really lucky. Like things just start going in your favor once you make this move. That's a really good thing for you. And I don't know that a lot of you are going to actually make the move this month, but it's more like you will commit to it, okay? That you'll start working on it. It'll be a reason for celebration. That's really, really wonderful. And it's saying here, because you have this way, it was like you decided to look at things from a different perspective. You've decided to see things from a different angle. And as a result of that, you have a better understanding of what is best for you, what's going to make you happy, and this is going to bring in a lot of stability into your life, better communication, more passion. Some of you might be getting married. Maybe this decision is going to lead you to the person that you will marry. Maybe some of you will be getting engaged. This card doesn't mean that to a lot of readers. For me, that personally, that's what this often means. Now, this isn't to say that this is what's going to happen for all of you. Sometimes this is just about legal documents. So this could be, forming a business partnership, being married to your work, signing a contract. This could be signing a contract for a home. Deciding like this is where I'm going to live, especially with that moving card. But for some of you, it might mean all of those things at once. Now, this is saying you might not be feeling particularly your Leo you. You might not be feeling really super confident and in control with all of these changes. What is the advice on that? Stay strong, be tactful, focus on what it is that makes you happy, and just know that you will not be disappointed and your heart will not be broken by this. Okay. Sorry, that went kind of on a tangent. For your home life and your friendships, what do we have? Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, July 23rd through August 23rd. Wheel of Fortune again. Your luck is changing for the better. Yay! You don't have to defend yourself anymore. Like, I think too, for some of you, like if this is tied to those changes, that's why we didn't have that Swords card, the Knight of Swords before. It was like you were afraid to tell people what your plans were because you thought you were going to have to defend yourself. At this point, you actually don't have to. I think even if other people don't like it, I don't think they're going to attack you for it and be like, that's the wrong choice. Just more and more reason to celebrate. Yay! I'm so happy with these cards. Like, it's going to feel maybe a little bit overwhelming. And that might be why you maybe lack a little bit of confidence this month with all the things that are going on in your life. It feels like you have lots of plates in the air. But for the most part, they're all good things. It's like everything is just kind of lining up and putting you on the path to where you need to be. We have a challenge card coming out here saying, yeah, you know, it is challenging to actually make those moves and to feel the confidence and joy and happiness while you do it, but really just to know that this is the right thing for you. Like your heart chakra is like glowing when you do this. Like this is the right thing. Is saying, you know, you don't feel 100% confident in it maybe, but it's the right thing. You just, it's that you don't know that, that it really represents something new, you know, like a new start. And so what I think it is like things that have been building and it was like a couple changes that have to happen. And it's not an entirely new start, but it's like a new era of where you've been. Like, in these changes, like, just kind of put you in a new direction. Does that make sense? Like, they just make everything better. Okay, so for those of you who are single Leos, what do we have? I'm going to shuffle these up a little bit different here. Okay, Leos who are single. Sun, Moon, or Rising, July 23rd through August 23rd. First thing, ooh. You might have too many people to choose from. Too many options. So many that you're confused. You're confused about who to date, when to date them, all that stuff. Let's find out why that one's coming up here. Okay. Now this is kind of funny because it's not funny for those of you who are in this, but it's just a little bit funny that there's going to be some people that you might be looking at, you might be thinking about dating, that catch your eye, maybe flirt with you, stuff like that. They don't want the same things that you do. They just don't. So if you could weed those out right away, that'd be great because we don't want all of this confusion, right? It's like a good problem to have, you know. Did you have this last month, I wonder? Where too many options clouds your thought, muddles your thinking, confuses you, whereas other people will look at that and go, well, I don't have any options, so tough. But it really is tough when you're in that position. So what this is saying is there are other people that just ultimately, they don't want the same thing as you, so if you can cut them out immediately, that would be great. You're going to be meeting a lot of gold diggers, not going to lie. Maybe you yourself are a gold digger. I don't know that I get that feeling. It's more like that's kind of who you are attracting. So you are cautioned to be aware of that, right? But this card just jumped right out saying, you know, your happily ever after is coming. Like that 1960s nuclear family, you know, American dream type of energy is here, saying sunshine and rainbows and a little home and, you know, just blessings on blessings on blessings and maybe some babies. Like that's coming for you, right? What what else here for single Leos? Saying, yeah, the worst of the ish is all behind you. The world, oh my goodness, you're just going to have everything that you want. I feel like things are really going to take off for Leos like in the next couple months. It's like you might have gone through some ish, but all of a sudden everything is just lining up to make you happy, and blessings and blessings and blessings. It's like the Chariot here in the context of relationships or potential relationships for Leos who are single is saying, you know what, things are happy. These are all of your desires, your hopes, and your dreams. They're surrounding you, really. Like, you want to like go towards them. You want to ride towards them. It's a matter of aligning these two little, what are they even? Sphinxes? I don't know what they are. Either way, they are tasked with pulling this cart, right? So maybe this is you and this is another person, a potential partner. Now, if this person, remember with that 5 of Wands card that was in reverse, wants to run this way, and you want to run this way, you don't want to run in the same direction, you should not be with them, because what's going to happen? Everything is going to fall apart. Like, your card is going to split in half, you're going to tumble on the ground, it's going to be a fucking catastrophe, right? But if you and the other person want to run in the same direction, it's like, yay, I'm going towards my dreams. Woo! Towards all of this sparkly, happy-ish. Good? Okay. So just cut out the ones who don't want the same thing. And if they only like you because you're wealthy, bye. If you only like this person that you're thinking about dating because they have a lot of money and take you cool places, they take you on trips and stuff, bye. Because what happened? Money's temporary. That stuff, I mean, stock market crashes, boom, gone. And then you're stuck with somebody who's not only depressed, but you don't even like them because the part you liked about them is gone, right? And so, I mean, but the opposite is true. If you're with somebody who's after you because they like you for your money, is like, they might be fun and they might kiss your ass in the meantime, but what happens if you lose everything? You know, like, they're going to be the first one to jump ship, and they're going to be the person that you were investing your time with, and now they're not here to support you. So just be careful, that's all I'm saying. Some of you have some challenges ahead of yourself. Like, you're in a place where everything is stable and everything's great, but you think they could be better, and so you're wondering, like, is it worth it to really go through this? And I'm taking this is very strange that I'm getting this, but I'm taking this, I'm getting this intuitive message that it's like, remember how we were talking about, you know, as a single person, when you're looking at other people for potential relationships, to date them, whatever, think about what they want and what you want, and does it align? This is going to be people who either have children or don't, but then are considering dating other people who have children, or maybe don't ever want them or can't have them. It's like, you know what? I really like dating this person. I really like them, but I just don't know, like, their kids are a-holes, and I don't know that I want to spend, like, my life with some little a-hole brats that bite me and scream. You know, that kind of thing. And I mean, maybe they're not even. Maybe it's just like you are afraid, you know, like in long term, like, oh my gosh, I love this girl. She's great, but she has 17 children, and I don't want to feel like obligated to put them through college. I mean, it could be anything. Those are extreme examples, but the reason why I use extreme examples is because then it helps you to remember when these things happen in your life, the messages that were important. So they might not. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, some of you are like looking at these things very realistically instead of from a heart place and saying, you know, are these things that ultimately I want to deal with? And so just kind of go back to that 5 of Wands energy in reverse, where it's, hey, do we actually want the same thing? Do we have the same things in mind? And do these other outside forces and circumstances actually matter in the larger, broader context of a potential relationship? Okay? So for those of you who are coupled Leos, Sun, Moon, or Rising, for July 23rd through August 23rd. Sorry, we just got stuff jumping all over. So this same energy, whoa. My screen went black for a minute. I don't know if you can still see me, but you've got this Eight of Swords here where, like I said before, you can, wiggle out of these ties and take that blindfold off and really examine what's going on around you, see things for what they are that maybe, it's like some of you just don't even want to think about things, so you just push them to the side, you back burner them, and you can't do that forever. Because ultimately, if you do, you're going to end up very, very unhappy. It says, feel confident in the decisions that you're making. Make decisions from a heart place. This card to me is very Leo, like just radiating who you are, your sunshine, your light, your charisma, all of that stuff. If you're able to see these things and talk about them and communicate with others from this place of where you are and just kind of saying, you know what, these are the decisions that I'm making because this is what's right for me. This is what my heart wants. This is what makes me happy. This is what brings me joy and I know is best for me. And furthermore, this is a weird thing, but this just came through, is like, this is like wheat or something. This is like food, right? This is like saying, this is what, the emotions of whatever decision I'm making with this river I've never even noticed on the card before are the emotions that I'm having are feeding like an actual sustenance, like something in my life that helps me to survive. And I feel like this is going to resonate different for everybody, but I feel like this is maybe about relationships where maybe people in your family or your friends, they go, I don't like you with that person. And so maybe you are in a secret relationship with somebody because you don't want to tell them, because you don't want to hear all the fucking chit chat that they have to say, like, oh, well, that person's wrong for you, like, da 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 da. Or maybe you went back to somebody that treated you like shit before, and now they're treating you good, and you just don't want to hear, like, oh, you didn't learn your lesson, they're only going to be good to you for how long, whatever. So, like, you're kind of, like, hiding that, like, you're pushing things to the side, you're not communicating with yourself, with other people, but ultimately, you know that this is what's going to make you happy, right? Where was I going with that? My ADD is so bad. I'm sorry. Last couple of weeks is like, so anyway, you know that these are your emotions and you're putting emotion into this and it's making you feel really good and it actually helps things to grow. So, if it's in the context of a relationship, it's like I'm getting a lot of value from this. I'm feeding this relationship and then they are feeding me in return. Things are growing and because I am giving my heart and my emotion to this, I'm getting rewards back, blessings back like tenfold. Does that make sense? So anyway, the point is if you frame this to other people that way, if you're saying, look, I've decided to do this, this is what makes me happy, and the blessings that I receive in return are magnificent, then you don't have to defend yourself. Because they're going to say, you know what, if you're saying this from like a heart place, I can't argue with that because the heart, it wants what it wants. It really does. I just feel like I jabbered forever, and some of this might not make sense. It's like too many tangents. It's like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Right? Sorry. Be patient. But so, this just kind of continues that theme where you're going to have to communicate. Other people might not like it, but who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Do what's right for you. That's basically what it is. You need to do what makes you happy. They'll come around later. There's this element to this card that it's like, you know what? Like, it seems like I'm being an a-hole and I don't care about what you think and I just want to do what I think is right? Other people might say, well, you're being selfish. Like, you don't care about what I have to say, what I think. Like, I just worry about you. And it's like, no, I know what's right for me. Thank you for caring, but I know what's right. But there's this element of this card that is often talked about where it's like doing this for the greater good. So initially, it seems like you're just doing things for yourself because you're selfish. Because you want to be right more than anybody else. You don't want to listen. It's not that. It's that you are so certain that this is the right thing, that you just do it. And if they're sad about it, whatever, but they'll come around. Eventually, they will come around. And the reason why you're able to do that now is because you've been able to find a balance in your life. You are looking at things from a realistic perspective, but also integrating your feelings in in a very proportional way. Okay, so there's a lot of blessings to come from this, a lot of growth, a lot of happiness, a lot of passion, a lot of sunshine and joy. And this is all, you know, within the context of your coupled relationship. So it's almost like within your relationship, things are pretty good. But then there's outside forces that I don't want to say that they want to tear you apart, that they want to hurt the relationship, but there's outside forces that can kind of put stress on it. So you just really have to protect it this month and be strong. Okay, sorry that was a super long reading. If you'd like some more private personal guidance, my contact information is below in the description box. You can just go right to the website. But if you're also interested in the daily readings on Facebook and Instagram, those links are there too. We're now doing Snapchat as well. I don't know what we're doing with that, but fucking around with it for a little bit. I'm learning how to use it, so it's kind of weird. See you next time. Bye. Love and light.